Hey, what's up, guys? We the people here, coming to you with another Legends of Runeterra video. In this one, I'm actually gonna be talking about. Well, I haven't made a video in a good minute. I know. It's just really been my podcast on the channel lately, and that's what I'm here to talk about. Um, for the last few weeks, actually it's probably been about two to 3 months now at this point. I've just been really swamped with a whole bunch of life stuff I needed to take care of. Like, I had school, work was a lot, so it's just been really hard for me to make regular Runeterra content. But I've definitely been trying to keep up with the podcast, the Mystic Shop podcast that I come out with every Wednesday. From this point forward, I'm gonna be trying to I feel like I haven't been trying as hard to make sure that the podcast comes out thoroughly every single Wednesday, but from this point forward, I'm gonna be trying way harder for it to be scheduled to come out literally every single Wednesday. We come out with it on YouTube. We come out with it on Spotify. We also have a SoundCloud as well. So I'm gonna be working way more diligently so it can come out on time. Second point is I literally have not been streaming at all. So honestly, like I said, it's just been time management. I just have a lot going on right now between school, between work, and I don't know if you guys know, but I also have a child, so it's just been a lot. It's just been a lot for me to stream as well on top of everything. But I'm gonna go back to streaming on Mondays and Wednesdays, probably between 3 to 5 on both days, and then yeah, I mean, I might add in another day. I might add in Wednesday. No. We're already streaming Monday, so we're streaming on Monday and Wednesday. But I might add in Tuesday. So I might be streaming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 3 to 5. That might be the day. But I know 100% it is going to be on Monday, Wednesday, 3 to 5. That's the time I'm gonna be streaming. Also, another thing for the Mystic Shop podcast, one of the co-hosts, Swerve, he's gonna actually be taking a long break from it because he just doesn't have time. He doesn't have a lot of time to join us on the podcast. I wish him well. He's always welcome to join us back anytime, but he's taking a break for right now. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave me and Gomez pretty. I don't know if you guys know. Well, I'm sure you guys know. Gomez. He's Land Up. I'm gonna leave his links down below. He also streams. He usually streams. I want to say about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time. Yeah, I want to say about 2. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody on the YouTube side and Spotify and everywhere else you guys find us. But yeah, we're gonna try to be more consistent, and that's pretty much what this video was about. All right. Have a good one, guys. Mystic Shop podcast. Yo, oh my gosh. Yo,
There it is.
We are getting deep. Episode 15 of the Mystic Shop podcast. Ezreal's flavor. You speaking back, yo.
It's not wrong.
Yo, all right. Let's get serious. All right, but this is episode 15 of the Mystic Shop podcast, guys. Welcome. So we got Swerve here today. He's back,
2 in a row.
boys.
2
Damn
in
right,
a
he said
row.
Damn right.
Don't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
So I think we got the schedule down. So I think we're okay for now. But
Surviving.
we definitely need him here because I think me and Gomez, like we most times, like, we're thinking about the same, even though, like, we make different decks. Like, we think about the same. So we need somebody here that's gonna be like, "What? Are you crazy?"
We need somebody here to just be like, "No, that's
stupid.
crazy."
No, that's stupid. You're stupid. You're forever.
We really do.
Like, we need somebody to be like, "Wait, what? This doesn't make sense."
We have seen the slow movement of me moving out of my saltwater home into the land of Noxus.
Shit, in a minute you're gonna need a new home because Bridgewater, every single patch is getting nerfed.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
You're gonna need a new home.
They're just gutting it. Like,
it's just, give me your roof, give me your door, give me your window.
It's still so strong though. That's the thing. Like, I think the people forget it's still so strong.
Man. But
go on, let's do this. Let's get into cards. Cards.
Cards.
Yeah. All right. Let's get in. Oh my God. He's serious.
I'm ready.
Oh wait. So you ready? You want to go into pick a card first?
Let's go cards, man. Just throw some cards at me.
Let's just
Do
smash it.
I guarantee that me and we the people, our favourite cards the same. Guarantee it. That'd be my guess.
Oh man. Well, if you've been fucking with Ezreal, then it probably is.
I mean, I was gonna say my favourite card of the week has been Ezreal, and I'm assuming it's the same for you.
Yeah.
So I know you only too well. Blasty boys. I mean, considering the fact that we are called the Mystic Shot Podcast, considering the
Yes,
fact that he is playable, of course, Ezreal is my favourite card of the week. I've been putting him in everything. Love it.
Yes, sir. Mystic Shot ain't called the Mystic Shot Podcast for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, but Ezreal.
Do you want to talk about it first, or do you want me to talk about it first? Why?
I can talk about it.
Go for it, buddy.
Ezreal being playable. Well, first of all, Ezreal being having to be at 10 things to target was just I think everybody agreed that was just way too many.
I had more fun, like, reading the fucking dictionary than trying to level up old Ezreal.
Like,
because I could get through the dictionary faster.
Well, the thing is, that's what I'm gonna say is one of my reasons why I love playing him now is because Ezreal basically once he went up to 10, you only saw him in Bilgewater or Ionia, because literally Bilgewater was the one who had the most targets with Rex and Make It Rain and whatnot, or Karma, because Karma made that stuff happen twice. So the second, like, he went up to that, that's literally all you saw. But now, like,
the doors have opened.
The farm gates have been kicked in.
Facts.
We're seeing Ash and Ezreal coming back, getting those, like, frostbites out. We're starting to see a little bit of Noxus, like, Swain and Ezreal is becoming big. All the targeted things because it's gone down. It's amazing.
Yep.
As I said, he was locked in the basement, and now the cellar door's open, and he's bolting for it. He's like, no, you're not keeping me confined down here anymore.
Dude, that was like the first thing. We the People was in my chat. The first thing I was like, dude, Swain Ezreal is gonna be real good. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I tried a Swain Ezreal list. Yo, oh my God.
It's really good.
Yeah, you just play. Yo, you literally just have freaking Leviathan. If you play Leviathan plus a leveled up Ezreal, it's just GG. Like, there's what? Like,
well, that's kind of the beauty of it, though, and that's why. And my reasoning for why saying Swain Ezreal is so good is because you now do not require, your Leviathan to be on the board. Like you have Ezreal and you target things and it hits the Nexus and then their stuff gets all stunned and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna attack now.
Wait.
And you get the most beautiful animation in the world of Swain hitting the Nexus. It is the most satisfying thing in the game.
The one thing that I like about it is I think that, like, I might be wrong, but I haven't seen many people playing this, but I like it myself as a counter. I've been playing like the Lotus move and having guillotines in there because they still count as target, and also the fact that it removes their side of the board, and if Ezreal's on the board leveled up, I mean that's just damage. Like, just remove your opponent's board, and just like guillotine.
You're giving them like the, not old hush treatment, because that's always been what guillotine can do, right? So, but it feels like you're hushing. The shushening's return, but it's the
shushening, but the axonings. Get your head in there, put your head in the thing, which is like, let the guillotine get you.
To the gallows.
Yes, sir.
But the gallows was the hanging. Like,
right.
Guillotine was the French
chop
method of execution.
Yeah.
History, you son of a bitch. Let's be educational.
But
the French came up. Okay,
it was the French.
It was the French during the what's that shit called? I'm sure Gomez knows it. The freaking you don't know it? You live in England.
Just because I live here, I mean I'm not France. I don't live in France. I'm not in Paris. Oh, see, I can't do French.
My mind is. I'm sorry. I'm so used to whenever something is close to something. My bad. I'm sorry. Because whenever something is close to something, it's like, oh, you should know it. But I forgot. In EU, everything is countries. So you guys wouldn't care about the country that's right there. Like you guys don't have to care about them.
Look. My history mostly comprised of Henry VIII and watching all the different things he did to his different 8 wives, because he kicked them out, he chopped some heads off, he did a bunch of things, but it wasn't with a guillotine. He had them chopped off with axes. Different story.
Yes, sir.
Our history was mostly based around the royal family and all their bollocks. I don't give a shit about it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, listen to some fat man who's got up and had affairs left, right, and centre, having all the women he wanted, and then basically saying, "Well, I'm God, so fuck you." That's pretty much Henry VIII. That's all the story you need about him.
Welcome to the Mystic Shot podcast.
To answer your question, go Central. To be honest, with him being at 10 mana, with him having the target, because the change to Ezreal was basically he does less damage, but you have to target less things. So they didn't necessarily take the skill away from Ezreal or give him more skill. They kind of took him and changed it from him being a combo-y aspect and more of a control aspect, which me personally, I think they should have did that from the beginning, because Ezreal should not have been doing 2 damage per burst spell. I don't think that should have ever been a thing. That should have never been a thing, in my opinion, personally, because that's gonna be broken. Like, there's no way that's not gonna be broken. I mean, but I guess in foresight, Riot didn't really see that this could eventually be broken, but it happens. So to answer your question, they didn't really take the skill away from Ezreal. They kind of gave him they gave him more flexibility, to be honest, because
he can definitely go into more regions now than what he could.
Yeah, because if before. First of all, for him, even in Bridgewater, it was hard. Like, you had the Rex. If you didn't Rex, then he was not flipping. Like,
pretty much.
That's the only way he was really flipping. Like, make it. I mean, what you had to literally draw triple make it rain. What?
And make it rain now costs more than what it used to.
Exactly. And then they nerfed make it rain. So it's like, what? like Ezreal's just in the dumpster now at this point. So I'm happy with this change. They didn't leave Ezreal behind, which is good. They already know that they needed to buff him, which is good. So Hey, I'm not complaining. Ezreal's my favorite card this week.
The same reason as you. Ezreal's favorite card of the week. Just been able to do so much. It's basically having the fact that he's been in, like, you know, locked in the basement, as I've said. And that now he can just be put into whatever. Like, you could kind of near enough put him into every region in some way. Like, it's just made it a lot more, like, you know, better.
Yeah.
Word. But eventually, kind of.
But
what's been what's one of your favorite card of the week, Swerve?
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Yeah, Swerve, what you been playing?
My favorite card it's actually something that fits into the Ezreal Swain deck. It's Arachnoid Sentry.
Nice.
But mostly I've been sticking it in aggro lists because it's really funny when they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna put my fearsome blocker now, and I'm like, well, these fearsome blockers really stunned, so it doesn't really matter. And you know, it sets up for the Ezreal combo with the Swain combo with getting damage through, and it gives you a target. It's an additional target for Ezreal, and you get your Ravenous Flock almost for free. I love that card. It's very flexible. It's very balanced. It stats at a 3/2. You can get insane value out of it in the late game or early game. That card is awesome.
It's a good card.
Yeah, nah. Arachnoid Sentry has always been a really good card. Honestly, it's always been a really good card. It's a good card in control. It's a good card in aggro. It's just all around good card.
It's the fact that it can be used. Obviously, like, you know, you can use it with Swain because then you can get damage off of his flock. You can use it with was it Yasuo for stun? Not that we've seen much Yasuo, but I mean, but it still opens up that possibility because, let's face it, Noxus is still probably the best place for Yasuo at this moment in time. There's a little bit of synergy with Targon, but I still think that Noxus is the best place for his face Yasuo right now. Then obviously it works with the targeting for Ezreal. It's got its uses as well, as you said, just a very nice stun move just to stop anything from coming at you. So it's good.
Yeah,
I like.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. But okay, this is a hot take.
I was gonna say, is this the hated card of the week?
This is a hot take, guys. So, how do you guys feel about 4-mana Culling Strike? Because fuck that card. Oh my god, fuck Culling Strike, man. Fuck that card. Yo, 4-mana Culling Strike. I'm gonna need people to go on Reddit and tell them 4-mana Culling Strike. Cause why is this card 3 mana?
No way, dude. It's never gonna happen, dude. Keep dreaming.
Why is this card 3 mana? Come on, bro. Come on.
Because you're crazy, dude. Because it has a limiter. It has ways to play around it.
It has a limiter, and you can technically play around it. You throw a power cascade on there. You throw there's literally so many ways to play. I don't actually mind Culling Strike. It's full because it does have its limit, and you can technically get past it depending on obviously what kind of deck you're playing. But obviously, there's certain things that you can't do anything about it. Obviously, the main thing which took a lot of use of that was the Asher's Wadi deck, where they would just frostbite whatever your strongest thing was to go in with that. Well, that's gone. Good day, sir. That always feels bad whenever that happens, but you know, it's a card that needs to be in the game because it allows for significant counter. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually don't get me wrong. I've had that time where it's definitely taken the piss and destroyed me, but I know what I can respect it. That's the thing.
Tricky said in the chat, 4-mana Culling Strike equals Tom Rocka 100% win rate. You just nerfed this deck. Just nerf Tam Soraka has literally dodged these nerfs, fam. How are they dodging these nerfs?
It's actually, to be fair, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't been seeing much problem from them.
I haven't seen no ladder that much, to be honest. I haven't seen no ladder that much.
The second that, because especially now, if you're running Guillotine or running Scorched Earth in that kind of Ezrealish deck, you can get rid of their landmark if you're running Scorched Earth. Also, Guillotine, as long as you can injure Tom Kedge, you're forcing out their bastions as quickly as possible. Obviously, you're trying to play around bastions, so you went into their manners below it where they can't use it. Yeah, literally, it's not as much. I don't think it's as much too bad. There's definitely ways to play around it, and so that's why I haven't really been having much problem with that deck personally. But it's still got its strengths. But that's what you want. You want there to be decks where you've got a variety in it. It's not just the same stuff every single time.
And so, I honestly, this is such a fucking hot take. I know it is, but 4 mana Culling Strike. I know people would still play it. Oh my god! Come on, make them have to pay mana for it. Like, yo, what? They just beg for it, and they just pass. Come on.
It's never gonna happen, dude. No way.
Alright. You know what? Alright. Second hot take. Flock at 2. Facts.
I hate to be that guy, but a smart man plays around Culling Strike.
How? How can you play around Culling? No. How can you play around Culling Strike in an Ash deck though? How?
You don't.
You just lose.
You just gotta go for it, and just because you then have to just try and force out their Culling Strikes and try to make sure that you're forcing out on things that you don't want it to be put on. Like,
yeah,
if there is ways around it, believe it or not.
Nah,
yeah, you just have to wait on your win condition.
If you're playing a good player, they're just not gonna use it though. They don't have a reason to use it.
That's why you gotta give them a reason.
You gotta give them a reason to make a mistake.
Go give it to them.
I mean, I'm hard stuck Diamond 4 right now, but it doesn't really matter, right? I obviously know everything about the game.
I've also Diamond 4, man. It's not about that. It takes a lot of time takes a lot of time on the ladder if you want to actually consistency to level up is devastating. I think that even Janky himself, because we had Janky on last week, he even said it himself that in order to level up and that kind of thing, even if you have a 60 or 70% win rate, you still have to play 100 odd games, over 100 games to get up in a rank because of just which they're going down and then going back. So that's what I mean. So it's just a matter of time more than anything we were trying to do those things. But anyway.
Yo, they just redeemed. They
wanted to do push-ups. Devastating.
No, they want us all to do push-ups.
Do you see my fat man figure? I mean, okay, maybe it's hard to see, but I'm a fat man. This is not acceptable.
He said if I pay for all, we all gotta do push-ups.
The only lifting I do is food to mouth.
I can do 5 push-ups. 5 push-ups is not that bad. But if you want me to do 20 push-ups, okay, relax.
I mean, I'll do some push-ups.
I don't mind doing push-ups.
I'll do some push-ups.
Yo, hit it, yo, Goose Central, hit it in the chat.
Look. If you want to be doing push-ups, that's fine. As long as we've got some talking about card games while that is happening, just to keep the people entertained. So, hated cards. We've done which we the people swear, but your hated cards, right?
Kindly Tavern Keeper. I'm so sick of that little smile coming on the board. Well, just before I have lethal, I'm tired of this man. He's a friend of mine. Don't get me wrong. I love playing that card, but I don't like it when he revolts against me.
How dare he?
The other Nexus. That's not the agreement that him and I had. I don't understand it, and I'm really sad by his betrayal.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
Damn. You had no idea of the contract that he was making.
I mean, it's a really good card. Really solid card. That
so good.
Is devastating with the body as well. As well as the fact that, especially he works so well in those kind of ramp decks because he can still survive Avalanche himself.
Yep.
He's a really good card, but I can understand why he pisses you off.
It's that grin, you're not killing me.
It's a welcoming grin into the bar, fam.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, so far, this week, I think the card which has come out and countered me the most has to be Star Shaping for me personally. That's been the one. That heal, the heal of 5, and then they always seem to get rid of it. So say that I've got a ball, so I've got a Ezreal, and I've got Teemo or whatnot like that. They always find the 8 cost everything that is 3 or less, just obliterate all. They always find that card, regardless of what's going on. They always find that card.
Just blow up your whole board. You don't need a board.
I blow up my whole board and it's devastating. But to be fair, it's a strong card. I don't disrespect the card, but that's been the card that's been countering me the most this week, in my opinion.
Braum. Goose Central said, what do we feel about Braum? Also, Tricky said his most hated card is Eclipse Dragon. Yeah, it being 7/7 is but
No. It's the Eclipse Dragon. It's not that. It's the fact its effect continues. So somebody drops
that's
that
true.
and then immediately drops Acel next turn because he costs less because of.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's such a powerful move, and you're just like.
So
7/7 and there's 10/10 with spell shield, you bitch.
all right, here's my take on Eclipse Dragon. Right now, he is the best 7 mana card in the game. The best. There's no competition in that realm at all for 7 mana followers. It's not even fucking close. What do we have? The
How dare you, Savage Reckoner?
Rekindler, what is this dude? What are you doing? Hold up.
All right, Rekindler. Okay, so Rekindler can
soloist. Smooth soloist.
Rekindler can compete, right? But Daybreak, dude.
Shipwrecked Holder, mate. Shipwrecked Holder, get in those.
Stop it, dude. It's not even close. It's not even close, dude. It's not even close. Dude. Oh, by the way, dude, when it comes to like creatures and followers and tribes and stuff, dragons, they just came up and like, screw you, sea monsters. Deep sucks right now.
Yeah,
Deep sucks.
Yeah, Deep is in the dumpster right now. Sucks.
I don't know about that because
I do.
I've still come across deep decks which I've actually managed to do really well. Like, not lying that, because it depends on how they're playing it, how quickly they can get deep. But yeah, literally deep. I still think it's got a thing because it's that obliterate. When the second they obliterate all your cards. It's not even the fact that they have to beat you. Sometimes they just have to obliterate those cards and then just keep the defense up and just wait you out. You know, it can be done that way. It's not as easy as you think. But literally, I mean, it depends. It depends on obviously what you're playing and how they're playing and whatnot. But dragons are probably they're probably outranked sea monsters at this moment in time. I think it's also because there is technically more of them, right? We haven't really got as many sea monsters as I can't remember the number of sea monsters for the number of dragons, but I swear like it seems like there's more dragons, right?
With 5 sea monsters, right? I can look. 5.
There's only 5 sea monsters?
Yep, Beast Below, Abyssal Eye, Devourer of the Depths, Shipwreck Hoarder, and Terror of the Tides.
Damn, they did them dirty. There's mad dragons now.
Maybe in the future, if we see more sea monsters, I mean that's the thing. Like you can always add on to any of those things. It's like saying like you might end up seeing a couple more spiders come into the mix that you're just not expecting and whatnot. That's what it's given that ability to put more into those. So,
he said plate worm too. The the treasure that shipwreck hoarder makes. Yeah, so plate worm too.
It's a token card you have to get off of.
I suppose. Yeah, I forgot about them.
It's
so it's like 5.4 sea monsters.
But it's a token card you have to get off. It's not like anything affects that card. It's not like
very true.
Lure of the Depths affects that card because the cost is still going to be the same to play. You can't. It's not changing the cost of that monster.
True.
So.
Yeah, and there's 11 non-token dragons.
They did them dirty.
I mean, it's one of those things, but I look forward to see if they add more later, like sea monsters, because I still think that deep deserves a place in the game. Personally, I do like it.
Yeah, tier 3. It deserves it. You're right.
Yo, I don't know how I feel about Deep being tier 1, bro. I don't know. It wasn't. It wasn't good times. It wasn't good times.
Are we just
Gomez.
jumping right into the meta, or are we just talking meta?
No. We're gonna talk about the patch notes, but they were asking us in the chat.
What the hell is that? What's that Kyber line now? That Kyber insult that he says to Jay Wheeler. It's just like, you know, you're third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck or something like that. Like maybe you're third-tier duelist with a fourth-tier deck. Yeah.
Alright, you want to jump right in? I'll read the cards off right now.
Are we going in patch notes?
Yeah. Let's do patch notes.
Right from the top. Lucian changes so that he can rally on the turn that he levels up.
First of all, best change in the patch notes, confirmed.
The implications were, I feel like, slightly looked over by most of the community. But this is a huge change, and you can make these crazy like turn 4 or 5 power plays where if you get all the cards that you need, it's a huge combo. So you need Lucian. Senna is actually optional. You don't need her for it.
So you running Shadow Owls, yeah.
Yeah, running Shadow Owls. You need Relic, and Remembrance, and you can get a crazy turn off. Crazy turn. It's bonkers. It's completely nuts. Like the amount of you can almost empty your hand on like turn 4 or 5, and that's unheard of. But it's it's so much damage.
Yeah, such a powerful attack. Yeah, without shadow of a doubt. That especially with you kind of have to defend Lucian because that's like 8 damage if you leave it, and with the fact that you're basically sacrificing something, because at that turn in the game you're not really going to have anything which is going to compete with that health wise, so they're probably going to die without killing Lucian. So at least the best to be about 5 damage. At least have at least 5 to survive and kill him on his second attack. But yeah, it's a lot, especially when you consider the fact that you can get moose. There's so many things that you can get from Remembrance as well that
the moose is funny. The moose is hilarious.
The moose is loose. That change has definitely seen Lucian it's made it because it wasn't like he was 100% underplayed. He was just more on fringe decks.
Yeah.
You saw some play, but he wasn't as big man as the Swains and the Pinguishies that were just getting seen everywhere.
Yeah, Lucian was put in to complete your 2-drop curve. If you had Demacia in your deck, he really wasn't utilized beyond that. Really, and you would stick a Senna or 3 into your Lucian decks, and sometimes it would pop off. But now Lucian's kind of still right now he's really high highs, and his kind of archetype hasn't really changed much, but now his highs are higher, and it's so much damage.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
You just need to hope they make the rookie mistake and drop their Lucian when they don't have a way of covering him with Sharp Sight or that, because obviously Ezreal, Mystic Shock, bitch, you died. So it depends, obviously. Be careful what you're playing against.
Yeah.
If played right, it could just go off on one now. To a different
could just literally just win the game by himself.
Shyvana got a point of attack, and now all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh my god, she's so good."
She's definitely okay. What we need to remember is the fact that she's a lot better than what she was. That one increase of attack when she's attacking forward, she's now a 5/5 rather than a 4/5. What makes that so much more powerful now is the nerf to Trundle. The fact that he no longer has 6 health and he's down to 5 health. You can now trade off it, because obviously it was that point because Trundle was so prevalent on the ladder. You play Shyvana, and then they've got their big Trundle troll man just sitting there going, "Come at me then, you swine, I can fuck you up." And because with that regeneration, it's like you're putting her forward, it's like, "Oh, this isn't going to go well for me." Whereas now she's got that ability where she could potentially trade off if they haven't got any tricks in their hand like Troll Chant or anything along those lines. I mean, admittedly, you could still have a Sharp Sight that could maybe help, but it's one of those things, but it's made her a lot more playable, especially with because Trundle was the main kind of counter to her, because it was getting seen so prevalently. So that's why it actually makes a big deal. That little tiny. I mean, we know how much a little tiny change in attack can do. Do you remember when they gave Brom one attack?
They gave that boy one attack.
That one little attack can do so much more than you think. So that's actually it's a nice buff, and it means that obviously you get to see her a little bit more than what you were. Because obviously, like it was what. Do people remember when this was first coming out, and everyone was just like, "Well, Tom Kench is trash and probably going to be a meme," and we did like a Shyvana Dragons for days, and literally just like said, well, that went completely wrong, didn't it? that prediction, like. But yeah. That's what
All right, next change.
And also she can't.
Vladimir.
I was gonna say also she can't die to Culling Strike instantly. Continue.
Yeah,
Vladimir. You finally have a choice now. You have a choice of whether you want to damage your own units or not.
They are
Vladimir.
slowly making Vladimir good.
It's I jumped on the Vlad hype train and I was playing him, and he's definitely playable now, but he is not top tier. He's not top tier at all.
It's because when playing him, because he just did damage regardless. The problem was that you would have something who had like 1 health, and you would leave them out of the attack because you were like, well, they're just gonna die, and I'd rather keep them back. Because if they had like an attack of which is like 4 or 5 or whatnot, you're like, I don't really want to waste that attack just to get 1 extra damage on the enemy nexus. I'd rather do that for a trade. So now, having the ability to choose who takes damage and who's not, you can still put that forward into the attack, because that's still 5 damage that they have to deal with everything else. So it does force your opponent to have to react to your attack, and so it's actually a really good job that they've done with putting by allowing Vlad to now choose, like you can choose the target. So buff, magnificent.
It's good. It's a good change. They made Vlad. He crept his way into viability, but that's about it. Like, I mean, wouldn't you just rather play a Swain deck, like to play Vlad? Like,
play Swain and Vlad, buddy boo.
Sure, you can do that too.
Throw it in with Bilgewater. That's the Crimson Crusade deck that I have, where they do damage to themselves, which levels up both champions. Boom, they're leveled by the time you play them. And it's just like, yes, profit.
Oh man, but yeah, Vlad's playable now. He's creeping like just like what Swerve said. He's creeping his way into viability. He's almost he has his head up. He's like, hey, look, I'm here, but no one's picking him at the end to be on their team.
Next, speaking of now creeping his way into mediocrity, Trundle losing 1 point of health and his ice pillar health going down to 6.
Yes.
It was crucial, let's be honest.
Yes.
Trundle was everywhere. That health stat allowing him to stall out the game because he kept just regenning, so you felt bad putting anything into it. Like, apart from if you just went wide, so he was only defended in one place. But to be fair, that deck was always played with Avalanche, so going wide meant that basically boom, it was going to go either that or Ruination was going to get rid of your board, either one way or the other. So stopping that ability of him being able to stall out is amazing, as well as the fact that now getting that ice pillar down, because bearing in mind that ice pillar does also count towards when he's leveled up, granting him additional damage. So having an 8 stat meant that you needed to at least go into it about like twice, or if not 3 times. Whereas now you can kind of get that down, especially with target spells, you can remove that, and it also stops them from deciding where the strong man goes on your side of the field. So really positive change all round.
I wholeheartedly agree that at 5 mana, 6 health was too much. They didn't learn from their Jack the Winner mistake by overstatting a 5-drop, and just, I don't know, Swain and Trundle was my favorite deck, and I'm sad that it's not as good anymore, but I still think it's viable, right? I think that maybe you just kind of mix it up and play a few more ways to protect your Trundle on turns 5 and 6, and he's still pretty good.
Trundle was freaking broken.
he's the S tier, S plus tier, triple S tier champion.
Trundle has been
100%
broken since Targan came out.
Yes.
He's
100%.
he's been literally crazy, and he's only gotten crazier. So thank the lords this dude nerfed. Because it's
Let's
just
talk Ezreal. Let's talk Ezreal.
Okay.
Ezreal dropping down from 10.
the second best change on the list. Let's go.
I mean, we basically talked about him in the reasons for our favourite card, why this change is amazing, and it definitely has opened him up to a lot more regions than what he was.
Yeah.
Yes. So Ezreal can now no longer be called just this, game-ending combo card. Now he is I guess I could play him on turn 8. And you can grind your opponent's health down now instead of
just instantly winning the game.
yeah.
I mean, if you have a fun smith on the board, then you can basically make it exactly the same as it used to be. If you have two smiths on the board, boom.
All right, so we know then. We know. So Jinx, the same quality of life change that Lucian got. If you empty your hand a second time, you can actually get your rocket the turn that you level her up.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned a bug about this, but bugs aside, that's a really hard thing to pull off. To empty your hand twice after leveling her up. It's hard, but I could see it being pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's doable, and I can't wait. It's definitely a massive improvement to her because it now means that it's really the same as the Lucian improvement. It just means that it gives you that extra point of damage when they're not, which is like as you used to not be able to get that. But as I said, it is the bug at this moment in time. Once they get that sorted, then it'll be fine because they've had this thing where you can basically get a continuous string of those bombs. If you do a fake attack forward, go back, bomb, fake attack forward, like you basically just keep getting the bombs. So it's been mentioned on Reddit. Everyone knows it's a bug. Hopefully you don't go against anyone who plays it and does the dick move of playing it, but it's at the moment in time it needs to be fixed.
Yeah, it makes for, again, like really high highs, like Lucian, and Jinx has already played in a deck where there's sometimes if they draw the right cards, there's nothing you can do but watch your health go down. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's pretty bonkers. Taric gains a power. Taric gets the Braum buff, the +1 power.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He's a fearsome blocker now, and I haven't even given myself enough time to be like, how do I feel about this change? Like, is he any different?
I mean, obviously he didn't see much play at the beginning because obviously Hush basically made him pointless upon his first coming out, and so people have kind of been a little bit meh about him. But to be fair, he does, if you use him which is a good enough deck, especially there's a lot of people I think have been playing him with Draven, because obviously
Taric and Draven are strong together.
It's really well, as well as the fact that obviously if you can get out the way, if you can use that KDA card, that means that his buff of making him and somebody else invincible, basically giving the same buff of which it has Unyielding Spirit to whoever which it is. I mean, obviously that's still same as Unyielding Spirit. Recall, would you recalling them or obliterating? There's a ways around it. It's just it's a lot more harder to get rid of them once they can't take any damage. It's a good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it makes me want to try playing a deck with Taric for sure. I want to see if he's something that I could enjoy because I've never really touched him. Yeah, honestly, because it's not. Whatever. Tiana Crown Guard gains 1 power and 1 toughness.
But wait. I mean, you obviously went through all the champion buffs and they went through and found out who the least played well and kind of tried to buff them up. So you missed out the Katarina buff because
I missed that.
Because obviously all these people who weren't getting played as much are now seeing more play because they want you to take up buffs. So
all right, okay. You want to talk about Katarina? We can talk. About
I was dead looking at the patch notes. I'm like check. I had a checklist here. I was like, check the hit Trundle. Check Lucian got some kind of buff. Check. Okay. Ezreal's back. Check. All right, cool. So where's these Katarina buffs?
You can't buff this. You can't buff Katarina. You can't buff her.
Rework, maybe.
Rework.
Where's she at?
Exactly. There's nothing. There's no stat change. I mean, yeah, you could make her with 2 mana or something. That would be crazy if they did that. But you can't. It
would.
Buff her right now. You have to change her. Or there has to be more synergies than just Yasuo for Katarina, pretty much. Or Battering Ram, Mogwai's Kattering Ram deck.
Is it weird? I'd rather take her stats down and get her costs down because the rally's the main purpose of her.
Right.
So just if you just got those down, I think that would be.
But it would be broken.
I mean, depends.
It would be completely broken, right?
Only one way to find out.
So what? Like make her a 3/2 for, or like a 2/1 for 2 or something, or and then a 3/2 for 3 after level up. Is that something that you think is?
Don't even give a shit. Don't even give a shit about her power, mate. I'd say give her like like very low power.
A 0/3.
That rally is what it's all about.
She don't need no attack, fam.
Give her 1 attack because she still technically has to strike, doesn't she, to recall? So.
Oh yeah, true.
One attack,
True.
1 attack, but the rally is the more important thing.
Yeah. I mean,
because then if you put it to 3, then it's basically like the same as well, I say it's the same as, but you do have a body on there as well. But what is it? Reckless Pursuit, but in a different region rather than
Demacia.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know.
They just need to rework her. Like they just need to completely rework her. Like honestly, she's just like for how Runeterra shaped up. Katarina's just not a good card. Like she will just never be a good card. Like honestly, she just won't.
You lose so much tempo by putting her out on the board.
Yes,
so much. Katarina's a great card if you're already way ahead.
Exactly.
If you're way ahead,
then you're gonna win.
Love seeing Katarina.
Exactly, but think about it. In those games, you're probably gonna win.
Yep.
Like you don't need Katarina. What do you need her for? If you're ahead, you're gonna win anyways. So what do you need Katarina for? Take this champ out. Put a champ that might help you. Literally, like that's the thing with her. So I don't know. Like they need to rework her to make her like either I don't know. Like they could make her more lore wise. I mean more lore in League. Cause
I don't know what she's like in League because I haven't played which is like too much League. So I don't actually know what her whole thing is in League to know how she'd be reworked to kind of still have the same flavor.
Her place pattern in League is CC her or die, because she can just kind of spam skills like crazy, and if she gets a kill or an assist in League, all of her cooldowns get lowered, so you can just use your skills more and more. So the more kills you get, the more skills you can use, which means you kill more people, which means you can use more skills, and then it's you have to lock her down.
I mean, yeah.
Why don't you give her something if you want to go more down that kind of route? Then why not make it so that when she's played on the board, everyone who she kills, so you can make it so that obviously like you've got single combats, you've got things that can make her like Draven spinning axes that can make her kill people across the board and whatnot. Every single person that she kills can decrease the cost of something in your hat. Like if you,
I was thinking that
something along those lines, whereby because then that is still staying true to her kind of, as you said, like the more that she kills, then it starts reducing the cost of cooldowns and whatnot. So reducing the cost of something. I think that I'll definitely see her see more play.
Yeah, I would take away the rally, personally, and make it so that you can keep her recall kind of thing. But if she recalls, you could say all spells cost 1 less until end of turn or something crazy like that. I'm sure there'd be something like, Ezreal Katarina would be like a thing. Then you could do something with that and make it so that you have a bunch of 1-cost mystic shots that are pounding face.
I mean, but it would actually be good, because then Ezreal would actually have a good unit to play, because then it would recall itself.
Yeah.
Or along the same lines as Shyvana's attack forward creates a strafing strike. When she attacks forward, she creates. I mean, I know that's basically like changing regions, but I mean, you come up with some flavor text, but you make it basically the same thing. Basically, the recall move in what you call it, but it doesn't have the redeploy factor of it. But you get to choose when you use it. When she attacks forward, you get a fleeting copy of that in hand, and you can basically choose to recall. But you can also recall somebody else on the thing if like I'd like that kind of idea.
Like a fleeting 0 cost recall.
Maybe it costs 1 or something. Just so that it's not as crazy as that. I don't know. It depends, obviously. It could be 0.
I don't know. Honestly, with Riot, they're probably testing stuff, and they probably just been trying to figure it out. And they're like, "All right, this is just way too broken. We can't even bring this to life." Like, honestly, that's probably what's been happening with her, because I feel like they have a lot of ideas. Like with Riot, they usually have a lot of ideas. So, I was in a few other people's Twitches and stuff like that. And they were saying how Katarina was scheduled to get something, like some kind of change or something like that. But they couldn't go on with it because I think it was going to be too strong. So I think they just have to figure out what exactly they want to do with her, because her just having rally and bouncing to your hand, like, that's never going to be good. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's just, like, maybe in the beginning of Runeterra, maybe you were like, oh yeah, you know what? I seen Katarina in League. She kills everybody. All right, guys, let's throw her in the deck. Like, yeah. But now that everybody's figured out the game, kinda, and people have a little bit more skill, Katarina's not gonna be good. Like, it's just not.
It's too much of a tempo loss. We can beat our heads into the ground about it, but we're going to talk about Tiana Crown Guard.
Yes, sir.
She got +1/+1, and I feel absolutely no difference.
It doesn't really change the card that much. Let's be honest, it doesn't really change the card that much. Yep, you do more damage on the rally, but people are going to be defended there anyway. And they
is it like now she can beat out Captain Farron in a 1v1? Like, is that that's it?
Maybe.
I mean, if you're dropping Tiana Crown Guard, you are winning the game or dying to burn spells.
It's all
if she's a 1/1, if she's a 7/7, or a 250, right? Like,
it's all about a rally. That's the
matters not. So cool, great.
Yeah.
She got changed. Wording Stones back down to 3 health. That's
yes.
Mausers.
That's
that is
big.
so funny.
Thank you.
Because
I don't know why this card was ever 0-4. Honestly, I have no clue.
To be fair, I think at the time they did the change, there wasn't too much like rampy stuff. Like, you need to remember they've put in more ramp since then.
True.
That I think they wasn't seeing much place. They kind of wanted to give it a little bit more because it was still so. Bearing in mind, like, kind of like the time that it was getting played, you still had people like playing a lot of Ezreal, especially, or like discard aggro, which has never gone away. And so get excited immediately just got rid of your ramp. So with it not being as powerful as it used to be, without having as much as there was, I can kind of understand the reason for it.
I mean, but also you have to remember that there wasn't much. I feel like it's less of there were a lot of ramp cards because in the ramp deck, nothing's changed. Like, it's not like they're playing all these godlike ramp cards that just came out. They're playing Warding Stones. They're playing this card. So it's not like they're playing anything else. I think it's less of there are newer ramp cards and more of there's something to actually ramp into, like Trundle. Like, playing him on 5 is like, this is a threat. You need to deal with this, or you're gonna die. Like, I think that's what it more is, rather than there haven't been enough ramp cards.
No, but what I mean is at the time they got into buff in the original. Yeah, I don't think there was enough. But now, obviously, now that you've got more, because technically, like, I don't think that you had the face of the old at the time.
Yeah.
Still,
Yes,
you didn't have you didn't have the one which basically is the 8 cost, buff you up by 2 mana, or should give you 2 mana, and then also
that card's funny, man. That is
funny. It's funny. And the fact, obviously, now you said you've got Trundle, but you've also got like Feel the Rush and things like that. 2 buff in 2. There's a reason for it. So
yeah,
I can see why the nerf is important, because those kind of decks can really run away really quickly if you let them.
Can they? Field Rush is ridiculous. I mean, we all know. I mean, I think everybody has a good opinion about Trundle other than Swerve. I feel like Swerve is like, damn, they hit my boy. They hit my boy.
Right? I'm a like.
Oh.
Like, my heart is in pain a little bit.
But you know what's coming.
I get it. Like, I get it. So it's Trundle or Trundle. Oh, dude, he was so busted. Fuzzy Caretaker though. Screw talking about Trundle. Fuzzy Caretaker drops down to 3 mana and is now a 3/2 instead of a 3/3. This change, I think, is actually really good for getting Lulu to actually be good again. Because, well, not good. I mean, I don't know why people weren't playing Lulu. I know there's. I mean, yes, Lulu died to ramp, right? Like Lulu got crushed by the previous meta. So
completely.
But now you have another 3-drop support unit for the support archetype that like is really cool and does lots and lots of things. So I'm gonna mess with some Fuzzy Caretaker, I think.
Yeah, it's solid change. Obviously, it wasn't seeing any play at all. I think it was that little bit too high cost as well. Like, you know, for that deck, you can't want as quick because you want to be trying to level Lulu as quickly as possible. So that's why you can't lock the low. You want the quick thing. So yeah, I can understand it.
Yep, I think the support archetype got really good with this change, and I think we're gonna see decks a lot.
Yo, guys, this is another hot take. What if they made Lulu's level up actually be able to? Cause you guys know what her level up does, right? It gives you the 1 cost, but you know that you can't activate that in response to things. What if they actually took that clause away?
What?
So basically what you're trying to say is that she granted 5/5, like, or 4/4.
No. Her you know the card that she makes, right?
Help picks.
Yes.
Okay, right, yeah.
You know you can't activate that in response to things. It's like they have the same clause as gems. You cannot activate them as a response to things. Yeah. I'm saying, what if they took away that clause?
I feel like it would be useless as like the vulnerable thing, because if you're to give something vulnerable as a response to something makes no difference. Like, it changes nothing.
The barrier.
But the barrier, the barrier would be a massive change too. Massive.
But what that does is it kind of forces your opponent, or it forces it forces you to do an open attack to stop that from happening, because you know for a fact they can potentially barrier something up. So it kind of like, rather than it forces them to go for an open attack if they want to stop a barrier.
I mean, honestly, I don't think it would be broken.
I don't think it would be broken either. I don't know why she has that clause.
I wouldn't say that that's a hot take at all. I think that that's something that should be heavily considered.
Yeah, because she doesn't see any play because of that. Because she's clunky.
She's clunky, yeah, for sure. Maybe they take that away. I think they should. Honestly, because I mean, Lee Sin gets fucking free barriers every turn. Why not her?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Free barriers. We know that is perfectly fine.
I mean, it's not perfectly fine.
We should let more things happen. You're absolutely right. We should let more things happen.
You know what? We found the person. We found the perfect rework for Katarina. Give her a barrier.
The bubble man who drops the 9 off the map. He just gets bubble and he's bubble driven regardless of attack or whatnot. The second turn activates, bubbles everyone immediately again. I think that is the fairest way that we can play this game. You're absolutely right. Let's do that.
If you or your opponent play a card, give me barrier.
Oh my god. Shen is just salivating. He's like, yes! Please.
Mina Swiftfoot gets a bunch of things that, just like Tiana Crown Guard, nobody cares.
The funny thing is,
I mean, she has quick attack though.
They gave her quick attack, which does make. I mean, she is swift of foot, So,
Facts. It makes sense.
It makes sense. And to be fair, that does mean that she's not as easy to track. Like, actually, the quick attack is the biggest thing. The stat boost is still okay, but the quick attack is more the big thing. It means that it's harder to trade off. Like, once you go into an attack, it's like, okay, I'm sacrificing something to this. There is actually a point to that one, as well as the fact that
Yes. No, it's definitely better. She's a freaking 9-drop. So yeah, I agree with the stat boost and I agree with the quick attack. I think everything it's fine, but like she was all about that, kicking 3 things back to the hand, right?
Yeah.
Because that's really what she was about. So good changes overall. Now for the most fun change is to Funsmith. Funsmith, the forgotten card that everybody wanted to like put in their decks because it'd be hilarious to play her, right? Now they can. Now they can.
She cost too much at the time. That's the thing.
Yeah, 5-drop it's completely unviable because it's like you're stepping in line with Jack the Winner. You're stepping in line with all sorts of things that are just like her. You're a 2/4 or a 2/3, whatever her stats were. It was a 5-drop 2/3.
Yeah, something along those lines. I mean, the stats for uses, but is that perhaps like putting her down to a 4 cost and just taking away that power? Because let's be honest, her power and her attacks, you don't give a crap. To be fair, she's most likely going to be a backbencher who you don't want to be attacking with because her power comes in the ability. So it just makes it a lot more better. The fact that obviously that now you can throw down a considerable amount of spells compared to the when she's at 5 cost, it's hard to put more spells in there. It definitely makes her a hell of a lot more useful.
Yeah, so I'm really liking her with so you drop Funsmith on 4 and then turn 5 you play another forgotten card, Chempunk Shredder, which deals 1 to it's like a Withering Wail without the heal, but you get a 5/2 body. So that I might play. That could be really funny in a Swain deck or something, non-combat damage deck. That could be pretty funny. But it doesn't target though, so it's not good with Ezreal. So it's no good for you guys.
No, sad times. But the Funsmith is still good with Ezreal.
Yes, Funsmith is very funny.
And I do still like the fact that now Funsmith, there's so much use for her, like regardless of where the hell you want to put her. But while obviously the fun place to put her is in Bilgewater, because those Make It Rain now just do more. Like it's basically like having a keg, but it's like but it's a continuous keg.
Yes,
so
it's a continuous keg.
Make It Rain and Rex, even though Rex now only does like a 6, he still does like an increase in that damage is devastating. So definitely a lot of fun. And with Parlay, what's his face involved?
Yeah, Bilgewater.
Old Gangplank. Throw his Dreadway on there as well. Oh!
Sure, why not?
Damage! What do you like? Or dupes. Yes.
So you okay, so this is your board, right? So you've got Dreadway, you got Funsmith, you got Siren,
oh my god,
you got Misfortune, and then Crackshot Corsairs, and you just go, I'm gonna attack forward, and they're like,
yep. Shit. And then you also go, oh, by the way, warning shot.
Oh my god, that's like a 5 damaging warning shot right there.
Warning shot? That's like a warning freaking missile.
Like, I mean, 6 damage, isn't it?
God.
If it's plus 1 damage, if it's plus 1 from
8.
It'd be 8.
Oh my goodness.
Siren's plus 1, Funsmith's plus 1, getting up to 3 damage.
3.
And then, what's his face? Dreadway makes
Dreadway doubles it, so 6.
6 damage. Alright, I don't see anything else that's increasing that damage at the moment, but I think 6 is for 1 warning shot, which costs nothing.
Facts, it's free.
Exactly. I mean, fun times.
Could be very fun.
Oh my god.
But you're never getting that bored. That's never happening.
What,
is
that a challenge? Is that a challenge?
Alright, Black Spear, 4 damage. That is pretty crazy.
It is. It is. I'm not gonna lie.
That is pretty freaking
shit. I'll take that
crazy.
over. I'll take that over 2 mana. I'll take that.
You're absolutely right. Yes. So, the 3 mana for 4 damage, but you still have to have killed something on your board, and it basically equals the 1 mana Wicked Flock, which requires 4 damage for 1 or 4 damage for 3. You're absolutely right. I mean, let's face it, it needed to be done. It needed, like, that increase of damage does actually make that card a lot more viable. Plus, obviously, it buffs, Callista, because that's her spell. So, yeah, it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, no, it's...
Look, Squirty's just like, you dare fucking touch my flock, man. You leave my flock alone.
Don't touch my flock, dude.
Don't touch my flock. Don't you dare. Don't even look in its direction.
Don't touch it. But I still think it's devastating. But it's basically, that is what it's doing. It's equaling the same damage.
Yep. Moving along.
Oh, we already... Yeah, we kind of already talked about it.
Rip to the Rex, dude. Rip.
Come on, you knew... Rex. Everybody knew this was going to happen. Riptide needed some kind of nerf.
Yeah. 100%. It's fine.
I mean,
it's fine.
Everyone says that. I didn't mind him. Like, when you consider the fact that the meta that we're currently kind of like entering into, especially if dragons become more of a thing. I mean, everyone's been going, Riptide, you were my last defense against removing all the big dragon boys. Why do you only do 6 now rather than 7? You want my last chance.
You're my last chance.
Right. I'm so sorry. Please give Graphics back that damage because we need it right now against the big board of dragons that are coming out.
No, that's true. I can actually see this change getting. I could see his attack going back up to 7, but I don't think they're going to change the number of cannons.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
You know, there was somebody on Reddit that said that the reason why they thought Rex would never get nerfed is because he actually has 7 cannons in the actual card text. In the actual picture. He has 7 cannons.
So what you mean is that some artist has quickly gone in there and gone, quickly, rub out one of the cannons.
That's why people thought he would never get nerfed. I'm so serious. I was like, wait, what? I'm like, oh yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess this is 7, yeah. But you could make the argument that this is not actually a cannon up top here. You could make it work.
So you can make 6 work.
Yeah, you can make 6 work.
Okay, all right. We're good. We're good. Then we're good. Put it to launch. We're good.
Yep. Put it to bed. It's done. Eclipse Dragon gaining 2 health.
See, that 2 damage to that extra cannon barrage. We've been able to remove from the board.
Exactly.
Damn, you know what? Yo, I love how they put this right underneath each other. Cause like they took that Rex cannon and they put it right into Eclipse Dragon's attack. You see that? You see that there? Yo, Riot, I see you.
Eclipse Dragon is now S tier. I think S tier card. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's way too good.
I don't know.
Really powerful.
It's a good card.
Its health is going to be staying on the board a lot for trades, as well as the fact that actually either it's Daybreak, which it's either one is actually good. So either you're using its Daybreak so that you can get ASO out next turn, or another dragon out next turn, or you're using its Nightfall to get another dragon and a Celestial. I mean, either way, that is doing unbelievable value. And then you throw down ASO Speller doing 15 damage across the board. You're just like, yeah, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome.
Then you got your hand of warning shot of Riptide Rex, and it's like, I remember the good old days.
Welcome
Yeah.
to your end.
It's true. Yeah, Eclipse Dragon is crazy. I mean, dragons overall, the archetype it's huge now. Dragons are, I think, viable.
Nah,
crazy viable. Like Runeterra Unhinged, that dude, he's like freaking just, oh my gosh. That dude loves dragon. He loves dragons so much.
Yep.
You ever watch his streams, dude?
Yeah.
Dragon Boy. Drag.
I've caught a few now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what was it this week? I think me and you, Gomez, we both showed up at his stream. Yeah. Yo, he be playing some crazy stuff. We gotta invite him to the podcast one of these days.
He's on the list. He's coming.
Okay,
Checking it twice. Go and find out who the audience is. Anyway.
Yo, those.
We're nearly there, mate. It's nearly Christmas time.
The freaking what was I about to say? The time difference between him and us though. Oh God.
Oh, he's West Coast?
No, he's Brazil.
Brazil. So that's what? He's an hour behind us?
No. It's like 6 or 7.
Really? Is it?
Yeah. It's a lot. He's on the other side of the equator. So it's for us when it's sunny here, it's not sunny there.
Devastating. Anyway, so what else?
I gotta look now.
Yeah.
That's all the notes, right? Or
because that's everything. That's everything. I mean, this patch was really packed. Like everybody was saying they couldn't wait for the meta to be, unraveled and changed and stuff like that. Well, here it is. Here. What's up?
Brazil is 2 hours ahead of you and I.
Really? That's it?
Yes.
So, wait, what? So why does he stream at 1?
So Brazil is 3 hours behind Gomez.
Hello.
What?
Ah.
You sure? Well,
I'm sure.
All right. I don't know, cause literally he streams at 2 o'clock, but he says there it's like the middle of the day.
I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
What do you want me to say, bro? I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways,
what do you want from the man?
I have no clue.
Where is she?
I mean, I don't know. As long as the time stuff is good, we'll get him on. But so that's all the changes, guys. That's all the patch notes.
That's all, folks.
So I mean, how do you guys feel about this patch?
It's one of the best patches they've done. This is really good. There's lots of things to play, which is going to it's a boon, and then it's also going to piss me off a lot. But that's me. I get mad at these kinds of things, and it's okay. I'll be okay.
It has opened up a lot more possibilities than what there were, and it definitely the Trundle one was probably the most important because of how much he was actually getting seen on the ladder. Like, it was to a ridiculous degree in terms of champions. You don't really want to see a champion who's seen 80% play or something like that. He was seeing above all other champions. He was seeing so much play on the ladder.
Yeah.
So no, definitely a really positive change, and bringing a couple of people who were kind of especially Vlad and things like that. Bringing a couple of champions who were kind of in the shadows out again is definitely very nice to see.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this patch definitely it nerfed the right champions and it buffed the right champions, and it brought everything. Because here's the thing with Runeterra, and I feel like a lot of people looking in on this game, they kind of don't understand it because they look at other card games and they see there's certain cards that buff and nerf each deck. So when it comes to Runeterra, it's don't get me wrong, there's some followers that literally will completely change a deck, but most of the time the cards that change decks is champions. So when they buff or nerf, even insignificantly, if they change the numbers a little bit for champions, usually that completely changes a deck, because usually there are a lot of decks that are just completely around champions. So this game is pretty much around each champion. So whenever they buff, say for instance they buff Shyvana, that's gonna help dragons a lot. Even it seems it doesn't seem they just buffed her stat, they just gave her 1 attack. That shouldn't really help them that much, but it will literally help them a lot because that's their most played card. It's Shyvana. So that's just keep in mind. But I think this patch was really good though. And we got Ezreal. Mystic shot.
So anyway, I just started blasting. But yeah, no, it's really good.
But alright, guys. I think that's everything. That is all our check marks today. So I think we're gonna end it here, guys.
Right here.
We're gonna end it here.
Right now.
Yes, sir. But thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody for showing up. We will be putting up the podcast. I put it up every Wednesday to YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify. Also, links down below for everybody, for Swerve, for Gomez, for me as well. You know, everybody does their own thing. We got the Swain Lord over here. We got the Meme Lord over here, and then we got me. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. So we'll be back next Saturday. It should be the same time. Usually we start around between 7:30ish, 7 o'clock. It's usually about the time we start. So yeah. So we'll catch you guys next Saturday. All right, guys. Peace out.